Okay, so I follow Shu and she's so funny. Like sometimes she'll just comment on something and it just blows my mind. Like, how did you find this? So I'm sorry, what? Tinder for what? Okay, let's read it. Let's hear it out. What are we reading, Miss Shu? Do we know what this is about? Oh god. Oh god. The Hill. The views expressed by contributors are their own and not the view of the Hill. Okay. Really good start to the prefacing of this whole thing. This is an opinion piece, apparently. Let's read it. So, Wizz, the Tinder for kids. Chat, I repeat myself. The Tinder for children app exposes kids to predators. Congress must act. Get me off this planet. I need to get off this planet. Chat, if you have children, protect them at all costs. I don't care if they're bratty, whiny, whatever, you think they're annoying. If you have no kids, please protect children. What do you mean Tinder for kids? An app called Wizz has been making headlines lately for connecting minors with sexual predators. Many have described this app as a Tinder for kids. It's the same iconic swipe right, swipe left functionality and the same purpose of meeting up with strangers, only this time targeted at both teens and adults. I'm actually speechless. What's the result of this app design? A 12-year-old girl meeting up with a supposed 14-year-old boy that Wizz connected her with, only to discover the boy was an adult male who essayed her. An 8th grader being essayed by a 27-year-old man, then finding out she was only one of several underage girls he had groomed through Wizz. Chat, I would say more harsh things, but I would probably get banned off of YouTube, so just know, wood chipper time. Like, face the wall type shit. This is unacceptable. What the actual fuck is happening? How did we get here? How did we get to this point? What kind of delusional, money-obsessed psychopath thought it would be a good idea to make Tinder for kids? Like, obviously, it's gonna be used by predators. But that's not even the only problem, by the way. This is also just introducing children to literally dating apps before they're adults yet. Like, can we just talk about that? Like, in some magical fantasy universe, let's say, oh, there's no predators on here. Okay, awesome, wonderful. But, like, that's still fucked up. Like, we've talked about 1,000 times. We've talked about how dating apps are bad. They set your expectations too high. You judge people at face value before you even get to know them. You just swipe pictures, right? Like, it discourages you going out and meeting people. And then the male to female ratio on adult dating apps is always skewed like 10 to 1. And then all the problems above that as well, like we've discussed, I'm sure, also are present in the quote-unquote kids version. Like, what the fucking dystopian fuck world are we in, dude? Why was this allowed? Whoever made this app needs to put on a watch list. This is insane. I actually agree. I feel like this is a normal flatlight thing to say. Like, why? You need to get your hard drive checked. Hey kids, wanna talk to strangers? We went from like the 90s to the 2000s to the early 2000s, 2010s. I remember my parents like fucking reaming me out and saying, Alana, don't ever meet like random people off the internet. They could be predators. Which is totally right, by the way. Thank God that never happened to me. I only met one other girl and she was really nice. And another girl that was really nice. Because we both liked the same things. I think we met through like... I think it was Tumblr. Yeah, I think one of them was through Tumblr and one of them was through Twitter, and I knew that she went to the same college as me. Through the same university. Warrior Cats? No, actually no, not Warrior Cats, but anyway. Didn't do a Wild Guild meetup? No, never. No, that's weird. No, I'm kidding. It's not weird. I was just a kid when I played WoW, so I don't think that was a good idea to meet, like, adults. And I wasn't about to drag my parents to a guild meeting, so no thank you. But anyway, it's fine if you're an adult and you meet other people in an adult, like, manner. I think that's fine, but, like, this is so bad. They claim to be super focused on safety. I'm not even gonna read this crap. This is so fucking insane. The fact that you say safety and engagement, and then you have stories of them getting essayed by adults, it's just insane. And by the way, kids can be really fucked up too. There are horror stories. Obviously, it's not at the same rate because they're children and they don't know what they're doing, and like you go into the logistics of like how crimes are perpetrated by children as opposed to adults. Like it's one form of an extreme to another. I think that most of the crimes being committed are probably going to be adults. Like, let's be real. Yeah, some kids do. I totally agree. There are horror stories, but I'm saying like the vast majority of the people committing crimes are going to be adults. Yeah, like that. This blows my mind. Like, let me look this up. Hold on. This article, The Hill, Wizz, Congress. There we go. Holy Toledo. Why don't kids meet each other in school? Cause school kind of got killed during the COVID days, honestly. Wizz, the Tinder for kids, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Editors note the story has been updated to correct the description of how users connect on the end. We regret the error. No, did you actually? They probably got scolded. This is insane. Okay, we read this part. Okay, an 11-year-old girl being essayed by a U.S. Marine she met on Wizz. All this in the last year alone. And by the way, that means they connected all of these things together to the app. It wasn't just like, oh, well, they texted or they met on a chat room. They actually connected this to this specific app. This is insane. Dude, if I was a parent, I'd be freaking the fuck out right now. A Marine? Yes, dude, that's crazy. All I'm saying is that predators are everywhere. It doesn't matter if like you're a doctor or like a Marine or you're just like a homeless guy on the street. It doesn't matter. Predators are everywhere. There's no correlation. As reports of Wizz facilitating a child essay continue to pile up, something must change with the app itself and more broadly when it comes to online child safety. Just a few years back, the National Center of Essay urged app stores to remove Wizz on account of the rampant I can't say the word. God, I have to stop myself. I'm sorry. Occurring on the platform. Within 36 hours, both Google Play and the Apple App Store agreed. Later on, Wizz was reinstated with what appeared to be a number of new safety tools. And how did that help when all these things happen? The devs need to be put behind bars. I just fail to see like what good comes out of like exposing kids to this kind of thing. Oh my god, why is this happening? Content connected below survey. Whatever. Although Wizz claims to have a robust age verification. Wait, are these? No. Hold on. Robust age verification. You mean like I can take a screenshot of a video game character that has like semi-realistic graphics and it passes as like, you know, like, oh, thanks for verifying your age. You know how people like went around that like a couple of months ago when they started saying like, oh, you need to verify your age on Twitter? No, the robust my ass. As time went by, however, it became abundantly clear that Wizz was not as safe as it seemed. If the continued reports of SA weren't convincing enough, the New York Post reported on what happened when the company's safety tools were directly pressure tested. No! A 52-year-old man said he was able to create an account as a 15-year-old. How? Because even though the age verification tech flagged this man's profile for review, he said that Wizz moderators went ahead and approved it within minutes. Yes, because it's not actually moderated. Oh my god, these people are insane. They actually just don't have, like, moderation. They don't care. They just don't care about kids. I hate this so much. This is even worse than not having any age verification to begin with. From a moral standpoint, having no moderation, is it better than just having moderation and then having someone accountable? You know what? It is worse because you actually have someone held accountable. You can put these people in jail that are quote-unquote moderators that approve this shit. Honestly, yeah. Yeah, it's worse because they just don't care. That means that they have no semblance of care. Yes, Roblox. Oh yeah, we banned the video game that had like bathroom simulator for children. Yeah, one of our moderators actually used that stuff, and also we're suppressing people from posting videos about it on YouTube because it makes our app look bad. Our kids game that's targeted for kids, guys, for children. Wizz made claims of safety by boasting about tools like age verification, but behind the scenes they actually directly overrode the concerns flagged by these tools. Dude, it was so easy to bypass age verification on Twitter and a couple of other apps. You just literally used a fake picture of, I think, what was the game? Not Last of Us. It was the one that came out recently, where they just straight up just used the guy's picture. It's like, oh yeah, you passed. Good job. You're a real person. Thank you. It was Death Stranding. Yeah, the main character. Yeah, and Gmod as well. That's another one. You think kids can't figure that out? Oh my god, man, this is so unreal. I can't believe this is real life. False, what did you do? Okay, when the National Center of SA shared the story, Wizz reached out to us saying the New York Post claims were false. Okay. And that the 52-year-old's account was never approved. So what did we do? We tested the app ourselves, and our 28-year-old adult employee was able to easily create an account as a 16-year-old. Actually, W New York Post for actually doing some actual journalism and verifying these things as opposed to getting bullied down and lying. Or lying, so that's a W. Wizz is currently enduring a fresh wave of bad press. Good! Why do we need this shit in the first place? Why do we need a kids app for dating? Oh my god. It has once again made changes on paper, such as increasing its lower age limit from 13 to 16. Why does that matter? They're still kids. 16 years old is still a child. Oh my god, yet the efficacy of its age verification still falls short. Honestly, we're sick of this. We're sick of tech companies utterly neglecting safety until they're threatened with serious consequences, and then announcing flashy news tools as a publicity stunt while having zero intention to implement those tools properly. They don't care. They don't care about kids. They're here to make money. I wonder how this is monetized. I wonder if it's like Tinder. Do you need like a membership subscription that they have to, like, you know, steal their mom and dad's credit card to, like, you know, get on the membership? Or is it made for purely the love of the game of wanting to just, like, hand kids over to predators? I don't know which ones works, actually. I don't know how to put this into perspective. Like, And the parents? But what if the parents don't know? Like, kids are... Look, when I was a kid, I was a little asshole. I would go behind my parents' back. They were actually very active as parents of, like, watching me what I was doing on the internet, checking my history, looking over my shoulder when I'm doing stuff. My parents were pretty, you know, savvy. They weren't, like, oblivious. They did care for me. But, like, I would do it behind their backs. It's not 100% the parents' fault. Like, yeah, sure, there are parents that just don't give a shit and hand them an iPad. I'm not arguing against that. I'm just saying, like, there are parents that care. It's just kids are little shitbags. Yeah, I bet you if I asked a bunch of chatters, I was like, dude, you have caring parents? Yes. And then like, were you a little asshole that like just did things behind their parents' back? It's like, yeah, I did do that. I did. Kids were already bypassing safety measures on the internet 10 years ago. Like a teacher put a block on the internet access at school, no problem. Just did DNS and boom. Full unrestricted access, no problem. Classmates corrected within 4 days of being in class. Yeah, we actually did that too. It was really funny, but not in the same way. They really wanted to play Counter-Strike on the LAN at school. And the teacher that was in charge of like the technology, like aspect of the school, he put a block so you couldn't install things on your computer, and it auto wipes it as soon as like you log out. Not even turn off the computer. If you log out, it wipes your computer clean and wipes any installs. So what they did is they found a way to put something on a USB. They'd plug the USB in and then play the game off the USB so that it doesn't matter if the computer gets wiped. That's what the kids figured out. And so you just have kids walking around subtly plugging in a USB and then playing CSGO while their backs are turned away from the computer to the teacher so they can't see. Kids will find a way. I'm not explaining away that this isn't bad. Of course it's terrible, but I'm just saying kids will find a way to exploit or like go behind parents' backs or teachers or whatever, even if they do the right safety measures. So anyway, I went off of a little bit of a tangent. Anyway, it isn't only Wizz. We've seen this countless tech companies over the years, like Roblox. Meta whistleblower Queso describes the patterns of behavior perfectly. At a congressional hearing on September 9th, he explained, Meta has failed to prioritize child safety until they are scrutinized by outside regulators. Then they scramble to develop features they know are insufficient and largely unused and advertise this as proof of their responsibility. It's so unfair because a lot of parents are not tech savvy, so they'll see this and be like, oh, well, that's good enough. And then the 5% or 10% of parents that know what they're doing, like either they have tech jobs, they grew up with technology, so they know how to like, counteract bad things happening. But they're a minority, so it doesn't actually do anything. It appeases retards is what happens. Further proving Savage's point, recent research found that 2/3 of Meta safety tools providers were ineffective, with only 70% working as described by Meta. So they did their own investigation and they realized only 1/4 of the time these safety measures actually work. That is so bad. That is so crazy. How do they not take child safety seriously unless they just don't care? The message is clear. Big tech cannot be trusted to self-regulate. We can't let them mark their own homework when it comes to safety. The only way to incentivize these companies is for Congress to pass legislation that holds them accountable if their product is found to be unsafe. Like, I have a question here. I might just be a stupid anime girl on the internet, but are laws and legislation not already in place that should be preventing this kind of thing in the first place? Like, am I insane? Like, I'm not a lawmaker. I don't follow politics. I don't follow legislation. I just know there's laws out there. Shouldn't there already be laws in place? Like, the reason I ask is like, because I think everyone has the same thought when they think about the government introducing new legislation, like as a blanket for all companies, if they, quote, find their products to be found unsafe, right? Like today, unsafe is the Wizz app, which is indeed unsafe, and something needs to be done. I agree. I have no horse in this race. I don't have kids. Like, the only thing I have is like a niece that's my brother's, right? But I think this is disgusting. I don't want kids to get SA. That leads to so many problems down the line with society. It does irreversible damage down the line, generational damage. But you have to think about it. Like, today, Wizz is unsafe. And then tomorrow, unsafe could be your video game because the government doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about half the time. Like, what happens when a minor meets an older dude on, like, Xbox Live or something, right? Like, that counts. That counts. What about Twitter? There's plenty of kids that lie about their age on Twitter. Like, I'm in favor of this Wizz app being absolutely nuked from orbit. Like, laser point nuked. But I think a lot of people would be concerned about how a new law could be, like, maliciously used against everyone else with, like, what is it called? This, the KOSA, Kids Online Safety Act. WoW is unsafe. Yeah, you could consider anything that's considered online interaction could be seen as terrible, right? One particularly promising solution pending before Congress is the Kids Online Safety Act, a bipartisan bill that establishes a duty of care for online platforms likely to be accessed by children. What this means is that tech companies must take reasonable care to design those platforms with child safety in mind. It's a pretty basic concept. Before Subaru releases a new car, they must ensure it has functioning brakes, airbags, and various other effective safety mechanisms. If they don't and someone is injured as a result, they can be held liable. I understand the analogy, but you also have to take into account these tests that they do are done like a million trillion times. You can't like test this 1,000 million times and then expect these big tech companies to like actually follow through on it. You have to kind of put a proverbial gun to their head to do this kind of thing. I don't know. Here's a better solution as a parent: don't allow your child online. But yeah, but then what becomes the question is like, what is okay for a child to be online? Is 16 okay? Is 18 okay? Is 17 okay? Then you start to get into like, oh, what is and isn't considered like a child and what is considered a teenager or a young adult. That's what happens when you start making laws and regulations and the government starts stepping in. Like you just don't know where they're gonna draw the line. Importantly, this bill does not impose a liability for the mere fact that a child is harmed while using a online platform. It only establishes liability if the tech company is not taking reasonable care to prevent such harms while designing the product. The Kids Online Safety Act has been carefully revised over the years after consultation with several minority and special interest groups to ensure that it will be not be misused for censorship. It has specific language in place to block any application that would violate free speech. It clearly lays out what harms are covered under the bill to avoid any overly broad interpretation. In short, this incredibly well thought out bill that would advance child online safety in the narrowest way possible, anticipating resolving all common concerns people have when it comes to internet regulation. This is a real solution that both Republicans and Democrats can get behind. Congress has sat on this bill for 3 years while apps exploit children and teens get away with it. This is a solution long overdue. I think overall, the person writing the article seems to like understand what I was talking about, but nobody wants a new law that's going to be weaponized and like ruin everything else tech related, including video games and like information, right? That's put on the internet. If there's going to be a new law to help prevent this kind of thing, it needs to have railings so it can't be like used for political reasons. And that's the biggest thing. Like, lobbying is so crazy, like not just in America, like it happens in Europe and other places too. What happens when lobbying starts to get involved? It sucks. The Hill is a globalist shill site, but they're not wrong. Like, I think that it's a really bad thing that this is happening. Like, I know that you can argue and say like, oh, it's a globalist agenda, blah, 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 blah. It's made by people that own everything, and they're just posting an opinion that's gonna be regurgitated and made to push this act, right? I agree, but like, what can you really do about it other than telling people, hey, don't let your kids on the internet, but there's always gonna be retards that let kids on the internet. Just delete the app? No, nuke it from orbit. I don't know how this even came to pass. Like, I don't know how. When was this app made? The Wizz app launch. Originally launched in 2019. I told you, man, it's gotta be like a COVID thing. Rapidly gained popularity, focused on instant connections. And what? the fuck? Went viral through platforms like TikTok, expanding across Europe. Where did it originate? Based in France. Oh, I see. Connecting teens such as Yubo, Wizz, and Wink. What? There's multiple of these? Wink dating, meet and chat and date. Chat and make friends. They gotta nuke this entire company that made this possible. They must be all connected. There's no way. Why are adults and minors even allowed to interact? Like, my parents, when I played WoW, they watched me basically the whole time. Like, they would always ask me questions, like, well, who did you talk to today? Did they say anything weird? Like, again, my parents are good parents, but if you think about, like, bad parenting, like, how this leads to, like, problems down the line, it's like, oh my god, man. Ban France? Oh god, I can't believe this is happening. He has a whole ass network for kid dating. So if you nuke one of these, one's gonna pop up, the other one is gonna pop up and rear out its ugly head at some point. It's not available in my country? Based. Good. Again, you gotta raise awareness about this kind of thing. You gotta be a good parent. You gotta stop letting your kids have unsupervised, like, access to the internet. This is coming from someone who had relatively unsupervised, you know, time on the internet. Not to any of my parents' fault. Like, I would go behind their back and go on the internet when they weren't home. I would, like, you know, they would change the password and I would still gain access to it because I was a little rat. That shit fucks you up. Like, it does. Like, how many of you saw something that they shouldn't have on the internet? I bet you, like, all of you. Very rare for you to not find something that you shouldn't have seen as a child. Yeah, me, one, yeah, who hasn't? Yeah, I know, I shouldn't have seen shit on the internet. A lot of self-report. Yeah. What? I saw a fox lady yapping for 5 hours. Hey, you're not a child, you're an adult. Stop it. Yeah, I saw fucked up shit. I saw gore in junior high. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was also a part of my friend's problem. Like, I go to their house and then I would get inadvertently exposed to it because my parents wouldn't let me on the internet. And we just go to someone else's house and while their parents aren't home, just access the internet. That's another issue. It's like, if you're a good parent and your kids go to another person's house to have unfettered access to the internet, is it the parents' fault? Like, how would you know? And then the damage is already done, you know? It's bad. So, like, I don't know. It's like, on the other hand, do you want government overreach or do you want, like, to, you know, hold these parents accountable? Like, it's just bad. It's bad no matter what. Mamma mia. Anyway, something needs to be done about this. By the way, Shu has a kid. Like, imagine how she feels. Granted, the child is like, I don't know, maybe like a year or two old, but still, like, you think down the line how Congress is gonna try and do something? I don't know.